Basketball fans, I'm Dave Siseski with my partner tonight, Adam Schrader. So after starting the season 2-1, Lake Orion has been on a tough 5-game losing streak. Tonight could prove to be huge in turning that around. Lake Orion takes on the Lapeer Lightning, who currently sit at 3-7 on this season. Adam, it's going to be a lot of fun tonight. The ONTV Game of the Week. Give me a couple keys for Lake Orion to get that victory tonight.
I think for Lake Orion, what they have to do is first, they have to limit the turnovers, especially careless ones, and that could let them get down in this game, which is not a good thing. And the second thing is to take over on offense, make sure they get the shot they want, and to convert on that shot.
Now, when's the last time these teams played, Adam? I know you got some information on that.
Yeah, the last time these two teams played was almost to the exact day. They played on January 22nd of 2019, where Lapeer won 60-34.
So if you're Lake Orion, maybe you have that on your mind. Maybe that's a little extra boost that you need tonight, but we're not even halfway done of the season so far for Lake Orion, so this could prove to be a big victory for the Lady Dragons of Lake Orion. So let's see how it plays out. Just almost ready here for tip-off. And Lake Orion comes away with the ball. So going to be huge for Lake Orion if it can get those early points, get some momentum to build on. Pass over on the wing, and that's given away. So just as you mentioned, Adam, got to keep those turnovers down. Here comes Lapeer. Lapeer with the ball coming up strong. Shot is up and just a little bit too strong. Rebound by Lake Orion and given away back to the Lightning. Ball is a little bit of a scrummus underneath the hoop there as we get a tough foul for Lake Orion. A couple free throws will come for the Lightning, who look for those first points in this game. That's going to be on the floor, actually. And we're going to keep it on this end. Inbound pass underneath the basket. Nice play. That pass into number 20 for the Lightning. That's Olivia Norman. Head coaches for both teams. For the Lapeer Lightning, Andy Roberts, and for Lake Orion, Bob Bridges. First shot up, a little strong off the back iron and bounces in. A shooter's touch there. First points of the ball game for Olivia Norman. Second free throw up. It's good. 2-0 Lapeer. Lake Orion going to have to beat a little bit of a trap here. And good job there passing that ball up court. 2 points, put it in. Big answer there for Lake Orion. That's number 12, Casey Lauer. Good job for Lake Orion breaking that press, seeing that man down there, cherry picking a bit, putting it in the basket. Lake Orion providing some pressure. This is somebody you're going to hear from often in this game. That's Hannah Erla. 3 for the Lightning, and just a little too strong. Rebound by Lake Orion. Here they come back up. Pass up to their point guard, Casey Lauer. Lauer looking for somewhere to go. Over to the wing. Down low, post, shot, using that backboard and in. So even though it's 7 o'clock, the bank is open for Lake Orion early.
Absolutely right.
4-2 Lake Orion lead. Lightning looking to answer, down low in the post, and it's good. Second basket, Olivia Norman, 4 points for her. And there's that press. Not a lot of pressure provided, but Lake Orion having to make the appropriate passes. Brought up by Megan Marshall. Down low, nice shot there for Lake Orion in the post. Again, her second basket of the night. That's going to go to Kendall Robertson. 6-4 Lake Orion on top. Good job to get that open shot though, but nothing but net there the bad way. A lot of air behind that shot, but Lake Orion in perfect position, Adam, there playing some good defense.
Yeah, I thought they had terrific passing through those first couple of plays, which set them up for those easy layups and the lead.
And that's where we stand right now. Lake Orion up 6-4 with 5:30 left in this first quarter. Not much pressure on the Dragons right now, but here it is, a double team. That was number 34, Megan Marshall, who was tied up there. Good job by the Lightning, retaining possession here, down by 2. Ball in to Christy Dundas. Dundas over to Olko. Back into the hands of Hannah Erla. Shot up and a little too strong. Good rebound there by Lake Orion, passing it up. Looking to push the tempo a bit. Over to the wing, corner. Fake on that shot, three-pointer up, and just a little wide to the left there by Marshall.
Yeah, and if you're Lapeer, I think you want to hopefully get Erla going because she's one of your best players, and to get in this game, you're going to have to get her going.
Hannah Erla, we're talking about number 21. Her sister also plays for the varsity team in 10th grade right now, Paige Erla. Lightning bringing the ball up, down by 2. There's Erla, as we mentioned. The older of the two sisters, the senior, tosses it back. All by them lonesome, down low in the post. Good job by Lake Orion, and that unfortunately off the kneecap of one of the defenders there. Looks like number 12, Casey Lauer, in good position defensively there.
Yeah, it's terrific help defense there.
Pass in behind the basket into Erla. Watch out for her. She's got a shot, a nice first move there, using that backboard and in. That's a name we're going to talk about often and early so far in this ball game, huh?
Yes, of course, because she is Lapeer's best player.
By far. I mean, you can see she's got a lot of skills. She's got the three-pointer. You have to respect her shot, but she can also take you off the dribble. Lake Orion down low in the post. Back up to the elbow in the corner. A 3 from the wing. And air ball there, but picks up her own air ball and back in the hands of Marshall.
That was a terrific hustle play, and you're going to want to have those to create those extra opportunities.
And that's the thing. They don't go on the stat sheet, hustle plays, but when you do things like that, you can win a ball game. Lake Orion up 8-6. Adam, first time out coming up here, but I got to tell you, early on, I'm really liking the hustle, liking the movement on the offensive end for Lake Orion.
Yeah, I think they're hammering home the keys that I just mentioned earlier in the game, where they haven't gotten any really any stupid or dumb turnovers, and they've also, I believe, taken on patience, and they've passed the ball well on offense, and they've created opportunities themselves like Orion has.
Well, that's the thing. You don't want to shoot yourself in the foot with turnovers like that. That can be silly, and that can really put a team in a hole you can't get out from. And I think Lake Orion, that's really been the bug for them this year, but this has been Lapeer's issue as well. They sit at 3-7. We've already mentioned Erla, Hannah Erla, her sister on the team as well. But Hannah has been a heck of a team player here for this team, for the Lightning. It just, there's not a lot of help around on the perimeter. And because of that, they're sitting at 3-7 early on in this season. Here the Lightning come up now, looking to make a move, and we're going to get a travel. That's on number 40, Hope Fisher. Inbounded by Megan Marshall. Marshall to Lauer, back to Marshall. Got to beat this press. Good job by Lake Orion. That's Melissa Normand. Back over to Lauer. Good job by Lauer to feed Marshall there, and we get a wide open three-pointer just off the iron and off the hands of Casey Lauer, and we're going to get a foul.
Yeah, and I know Lake Orion's up early in this game, but it would be nice for them to try to convert on some of these open threes that they've gotten early in this game.
Over the back on Caitlin Van Hack there. Yeah, they've had a couple opportunities early on, as you said, Adam, some wide open threes. Got to cash in when you get those open shots like they have early on in this game. Good job by Lake Orion providing that pressure. Here's Erla. Erla in the corner, nowhere to go. Good job cutting her off. Picks it back up. She can shoot that three. You got to stay on her. Good job by Lake Orion. That's a heck of a defensive effort there by Casey Lauer on Erla. Erla driving to the basket, using her left hand. And she gets a foul there. She'll go to the free throw line. That's what she can do. She can beat you from three, and she can take you off the dribble. She's got a quick first step there, and she's going to be shooting too.
Yeah, and if Lake Orion's shutting her down the perimeter, she can obviously, like I said before, take you in and obviously get opportunities to shoot free throws, which can get her going almost.
First free throw good for Hannah Erla. 9-7 ball game right now, trying to bring the Lightning back up a little bit closer. Second one, nothing but net. Beautiful stroke there. 9-8, Lake Orion up by 1. Ball into the hands of Casey Lauer. Lauer back over to Marshall. Good job by Marshall to dribble out of trouble. That was tipped, so no backcourt violation, and stolen away, thrown away back into the hands of Marshall, who at the free throw line, a jump shot there from Lake Orion, but just off the iron. That was off the hands of Kiara Tierney. A lot of hustle for both teams. Looks like Kiara Tierney is coming up with a little bit of a limp there. Hopefully she's okay. You don't think the coaches see that, but I think she hurt her knee there.
Yeah, she seems to be in a lot of pain.
Yeah, you don't know why you're not getting a stoppage of play. But you got to get a foul. You got to foul her right here. You got to do something to get her out, because she can't play defense like that.
No, she's not in any way, shape, or form able to play defense like that.
You hate to see that.
Yes. There you go.
Checking in for the Dragons.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's Kiara Tierney who's going to have to sit down. She's got that brace on her knee, and it looks like she may have aggravated that. You don't want to speculate, but you just hope for the best.
Yeah, of course.
Checking in for Lightning for 23, girl.
So I misspoke earlier. We got an 8-8 ball game here, so early on. Good contest between Lake Orion and Lapeer. Casey Lauer brings it back up into the freshman, Madeline Ebert. Wide open three again. Can Lake Orion hit that? They cannot. That off the hands of Olivia Poplowski. Got to hit on those open shots, especially as open as they have been. Lightning bringing it back up. Erla back over to her younger sister. That'll be Paige Erla. Hannah Erla, jump shot, looks good off to the iron. Good rebound there by Lightning. But they're going to call over the back, and possession arrow back in Lake Orion's favor.
Yeah, and I'm eager to see what Lapeer does on defense, if they're going to keep up with the pressure, even though Lake Orion has shown that they can almost pass out of it and find the open look out of that.
Well, they're not putting a lot of pressure on, not a full court press. They are, I mean, here they are now, making me eat my words, putting that on. But, you know, every now and then you can create some turnovers, but you get this, a wide open three-pointer and another miss there by Lake Orion, that off the hands of Olivia Poplowski. But eventually, you're going to hit on those open threes. So you become a liability when you do that full court press, but so far it hasn't been an issue. Lightning bring the ball up, tied at 8 apiece with 1:06 left in this first quarter. Good job by Madeline Ebert. She can play, man. She's a freshman. She's a heck of a player. Throws that ball up, and 2 points up for Lake Orion.
Yeah, Madeline
Great
Ebert.
job by Aaron Humes.
Madeline Ebert was a name that I know we mentioned coming into this game because of how well she has played throughout the past few games and the entire season almost.
Shot back up by the Lightning, and good job by Lake Orion to rebound that ball. Gets loose, though, back into the hands of the Lightning, and that's good. Good jumper by Charity Dundas. Yeah, we got a tie ball game at 10 apiece, 25 seconds left, and as we mentioned, yeah, Madeline Ebert, she's a freshman, but she's kind of played that 6-woman role for the Lake Orion Dragons. She's done a heck of a job, too. Good steal there by the Lightning. Turned back over, tapped from behind by Lake Orion. But this will stay with the Lightning with 9.6 seconds left, 10 apiece. Norman and Erlo come back in for the Lightning, two of their better players. Baseline pass in. We got 5 seconds. A drive by the Lightning and just off the iron, rebound Lake Orion, and that'll be the end of the first quarter. So a heck of a first quarter, Adam. 10 apiece for each team, and I think we could say at this point it's been pretty equal.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of good play from both teams and a lot of good effort, like we mentioned before, from Erla, and as the name you mentioned before for the Dragons, Normand, and along with Madeline Ebert with that good steal in the pass for the layup there. I'm eager to see how this one plays out because both teams seem to be feeling each other out.
Well, you feel if Lake Orion's going to come away with a victory here, it's going to be because they're going to connect on some of those open three-pointers. And eventually, you have to. You can't go 0-4, especially when you got those open shots. And that's really what Lake Orion has done so far this season. When they have come away with a victory, it's because of their outside ability to shoot the basketball.
Yeah, and they're definitely, because the looks are there. Like you said before, they just need to cash in on it. And I believe once they get that going, it could be very dangerous for them to see it.
Coming into this basketball game, Lake Orion with just 2 victories on the season, but lots of basketball to come. And as we mentioned, this could really be that first step of turning the season around. And a heck of a job so far early on, but at 10 apiece, and we're really hitting reset with 3 quarters left. Lake Orion going to take over possession here in this second quarter. Thrown in by Sydney Maddox to Casey Lauer. Lauer dribbles up over to Ebert. Ebert over into the side baseline. Baseline block. Good job by Norman there defensively into the hands of Erla. Erla trying to give her team the lead for the first time in this ball game. Dribbles in, over to the corner, back to the hands of Erla. Back up to the top. Erla all by herself. Drive on the baseline, throws it up. Kind of a wild shot there, but back over to the Lightning. Trying to feed Norman deep into the post there, but just a little too far. That a turnover by Abigail Wise.
Yeah, and I think for the Dragons, what they need to do is they need to, again, like they did in the beginning of the quarter, they need to slow it down because the last couple possessions for them have been a block and then a turnover, which won't be good for them.
Madeline Ebert holding on to that ball. Good job by Lake Orion, passing that ball around in the hands of Humes. Looking for an open shot. Ebert drives it. Nice job, and that one blocked. A little bit of a tip there, but up for the challenge is the defense for the Lightning. Bringing the ball up. I'll tell you what, Ebert, she's a heck of a defensive player there. I mean, she's strong on the offensive end, but she really sticks with her man, creating a turnover there off the knee of Melina Van Dever. And Lake Orion retains possession. Back up by Lauer. Into the corner, looking for somewhere to go. Picks her dribble back up. Back over to Ebert. Down low in the post. Over to the corner, baseline drive, no one home. Corner 3, and just a little too wide again off the hands of Lauer. So to my knowledge, they have not connected yet on a 3. That puts them at 0 for 5 so far. Good job by Lake Orion there defensively. Erla, step back 3 and a little too short. Back over to her, she's all by herself. She'll shoot that. And off the iron. She's definitely not a player that's afraid to shoot the ball. We can put that out there, you know, and sometimes at this level, the difference between some of these players is somebody's not afraid to put the ball up and shoot it and see what happens. She puts that ball up often in this game, and she can hit it too, but I think it speaks to her confidence.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think she's proved that she can hit any shot on the court if she wants to.
Yeah. Lightning. Lake Orion tied at 10 apiece. Good give and go pass down there, down in the post, but ties her up. Jump ball, and we're going to keep possession down here, but it's number 31 for Lake Orion there
and
on the tie-up.
Both teams are a little bit in a funk right now, shooting-wise. So I'm eager to see which team could break out of that first and really create good shots and make those shots for themselves first.
Lightning looking to open this quarter up with a basket, and Norman really showing her power down low, able to get that shot up. Now it does bounce out. She's going to shoot two. And like you mentioned, we've had a little bit of a roadblock for both teams on offense, but I think it's speaking to the defense. They've really been all over the place. There hasn't been a lot of open space on that floor. First free throw a little bit short there off the hands of Norman. She'll get another one. But defensively, both teams have been everything as advertised so far. They've done a great job, and in-your-face type of defense. Second shot by Norman. Shot is good. That puts Lapeer up 11-10 with 5:40 left in this half. Over to Ebert. Ebert makes a move. She's all by herself, looking for somewhere to go, and turned away. That ball turned over by Ebert and coming back with the Lightning. Then she gets the ball right back. She's determined. Here they come, Lake Orion. That shot's good for two. No, bounces out. Had a foot on the line off the hands of Sydney Maddox.
Yeah, and how about Ebert? I believe that was her second steal of the day, and she's just playing terrific defense for Dragons and much needed defense.
Well, that's the thing. She turned the ball over, but she hustled back and got, the steal, as you mentioned, her second of the ball game. So when you show hustle like that, especially as a freshman, she's definitely going to have a promising career as a Lady Dragon. Back to the free throw line is Norman. Shot is up and short on a 1-and-1. And here comes Ebert. 5:02 left in this half. Down low, pass, great job, Lake Orion. Nowhere to go, Ebert comes into the circle there and shot off the backboard. So unlike her to not hit that runner in the lane. But nevertheless, here comes the Lightning trying to build on this 1-point lead. Erla going to her left. She can do that. She can go to her left or right. Looking for somewhere to go right now. Into the hands of Oko. Throwing her around the wing, down in the post, back down to Norman. And that's going to be a foul.
Yeah, that one, she's getting the line again because I believe her power down low is something to her advantage, and she's taken advantage of her strength to get into the post and get good looks for her early on.
Well, I mean, that's a good point. That's the thing. If you look down here, it's obvious to us. She's the tallest player on the court right now, and it's not even close. So she's just been able to do whatever she wants down low. She's just got to connect with these free throws. So there's a 1-and-1, but they do get the rebound, and we'll get another tie-up. And we're going to get another 1-and-1. They're calling a foul on that.
Yeah, and I believe these are big free throws for Lapeer because both teams haven't been able to really get anything going on offense. And I don't know if that speaks to the defense, but something's got to give, You
got to box your opponent out here. You have to. I mean, they've had a couple 1-and-1s where they didn't connect, but eventually it's going to hurt you if you don't get these rebounds. A lot of offensive boards early on for the Lightning. First free throw up, and it's good. Head off the hand of Charity Dundas, who's had a nice first half so far for the Lightning. 12-10, second of two free throws coming for Dundas. Couple dribbles, spins it, puts it up. That looks good. A little too short though. Lake Orion with the rebound. Almost thrown away there. Ebert trying to control this offense here, looking for somewhere to go. Ebert, nice move. Down low, open shot, and a foul. So good job by Lake Orion. getting that offense going.
Yeah, and they're going to have to do something in order to get the offense going because the three-pointers for them haven't been going in, even though they've gotten the looks.
Free throw up is a little short there. Yeah, there's been a big drought for Lake Orion, and we ended the first quarter 10-10, and there hasn't been anything else for Lake Orion so far. So obviously lots of time, 4 minutes left in this second quarter, but eventually you got to get that offense rolling. Second free throw up, it's good, nothing but net. Good job by Lake Orion there. So take advantage of being at the stripe. 1 for 2. Lightning back up to the top of the key. Over to the corner, Erla, the younger Erla sister, gets that ball stolen away. Marshall driving with a ton of speed, and she is fouled, not able to connect. And they're actually saying that ball is going the other way. Might have been over the back. Wow.
I'm not sure what they're calling on this one here.
Well, she definitely was out of control there going to the hoop, but definitely thought she would have drawn the foul. Here come the Lightning looking to build on that lead, up by 2. And there's 3 seconds. Got to pay attention on offense. Can't sit there in the key. Lake Orion, 3:25 left in this first half. Let's see if they can get this lead back. Marshall over to Ebert. Ebert over to the right side. Goes back down low. We're going to get a foul. Dragon ball out of bounds here on the sideline. Pass into the corner. Into the hands of Grace Volkevich. Back up to the top of the key, nice drive. Ball up and good. A little bit of a bunny there in the lane, nice shot. Lake Orion takes the lead, 13-12. Erla with the ball at the top of the key, looking to come to her sister. Here she is. Nice feed down low. But they're going to say offensive foul. It's going to be on number 11, Abigail Weiss. And ball will be back into the hands of Lake Orion. So just like that, Lake Orion's got the lead back, but it doesn't feel like it. Doesn't feel like momentum's on either team's side right now, Adam.
Yeah, I feel like they're just still feeling each other out because the offense hasn't been there for both teams. It's been a defensive battle. You've seen steals from Ebert and Megan Marshall, but you just really haven't felt the offensive presence from either team.
Yeah, neither team's really been able to get their game going, right? So you hope that Lake Orion with 2:30 left here can do that. Ebert over to Marshall. Marshall picks up her dribble, shot, up. A little too short there. A nice job by her to drive in the lane there, but a little bit short on that shot. So Lake Orion's going to keep it down here. Ball out of bounds. Baseline pass into the corner. 3 is up and a little too long again. Volkevich unable to connect on that 3. Lightning with 2 minutes left here in the first half. Norman, drive, good job by Lake Orion. I think that's the first time they've stopped her when she's been deep in the post there. Ebert, drive, all by herself. Lots of speed going to the basket, and she drew the foul. That's one thing you can't teach is speed, and that's what she's got. And
of course, that mixed with her hustle is almost unstoppable, it seems like at times.
Yeah, she's definitely going to grow into her own. As a freshman here, she's got a lot of basketball ahead of her. Ebert looking to go somewhere. 5-second call. So just good job defensively, and nobody open for Lake Orion down there. 1:54 left, 13-12, Lake Orion. Ball into the hands of Emma Trish. Trish passes it back to Dundas. Dundas will bring that back up over to Erla. Erla in the corner. Erla gets a screen. Erla takes it in, reads that perfectly, and ball bounces out. She had Norman down low as well. Lake Orion with some numbers. Good job getting back defensively, though, for the Lightning. So we're going to get a timeout with 1:27 left in this first half. 13-12, Lake Orion on top. But as we mentioned, Adam, it's really been an up and down game for both teams. We got a lead, obviously, with Lake Orion by 1 point, but it just doesn't feel like it right now.
No, and for both teams, they're just having offense struggles. For Lake Orion, they haven't converted on a three yet, even though they've had open looks the entire first half. And for Lapeer, Erla really hasn't gotten going like she has in prior games. In the way that she can take over games, we haven't really felt that yet. And maybe for both teams, something can give come the second half, but we just haven't seen it yet.
And just reminding you, you can get your DVD copies, any game or program, $10 per DVD copy. If you want tonight's game, that's $10, and it's yours. Our high school game of the week here between Lake Orion and Lapeer. We have a 13-12 lead from Lake Orion with 1:27 left in this first half. Baseline pass by Ebert. Good job by her, getting it in. Over to Lauer. In the corner, Ebert. Lake Orion looking to answer on offense. Not a lot of room down here. Ebert creating some space. Over the top of the key, three-pointer no good, but picked back up by Lake Orion. Lake Orion passing that ball around, looking for that open shot. Volkalich over to Ebert. Down low in the post. Turnaround, but nobody at home. And we're actually going to get a bailout foul there on the Lightning. Lake Orion, I like the idea of going down low in the post, but you'd really love if they looked at the basket, because they're not looking for opportunities to score. They're looking for that open person on the court, but it just hasn't been there. We'll get a couple free throws there, and hopefully they can build on that lead. First free throw bounces out. We have a 1-and-1, and back into the hands of Lapeer. 40 seconds left in this first half. Pass over to Erla. Got to respect that shot. Back over to Norman. Good give and go to her. That was beautiful, and that's the way you draw that up. 13-14. Lapeer taking the lead back. Lake Orion with 15 seconds left. See if they take the last shot of this half. Over to Ebert. Back over to Lauer. Three-pointer by Lake Orion. That looked good going up, but rebounded by Lapeer. That one off the hands of Kylie Heck. Looked good, as we mentioned, but instead, Lake Orion's going to be down by one going in to this half. So 14-13, the Lapeer Lightning on top at the end of this first half for ONTV, a live broadcast. David Staseski here with Adam. Adam will be back for that second half. What'd you see, though, in that first half that you liked?
I saw a lot of good defensive plays by both teams, especially if we want to call out maybe one person in particular, Madeline Ebert for Lake Orion, who had a couple good steals and also a couple good hustle plays there to keep Lake Orion within this game.
So there you go, the freshman Madeline Ebert. Make sure you stay tuned, come back for that second half. 14-13 Lapeer over Lake Orion.
ONTV invites you to take part in our 10-week video production class. The class meets on Monday nights from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. and offers instruction on studio production, field production, and non-linear editing. Upon completion of the class, you get access to ONTV's facilities and equipment to produce your own programs or short film. The cost is $30 for Lake Orion residents, $60 for non-residents. For more information, give ONTV a call at 248-693-3377 or visit orionontv.org today.
And welcome back for second half action between the Lake Orion Dragons and the Lapeer Lightning. This is the ONTV High School Game of the Week. David Sasewski with my colleague here, Adam Schrader. Adam, the first half, you talked about early on what Lake Orion needed to do was take advantage of those open shots. They didn't do that, and to create some turnovers. They were able to do that. What did you like to see that team build on for the second half?
What I would like to see Lake Orion build on is just keep getting the open looks, and because they're eventually going to fall. And what I'd like to see the Dragons improve on is allowing themselves to get in position to play good defense and maybe get easier looks like they did earlier with the steal to the layup, like with Eberts and with Marshall had.
And they've definitely taken their time on offense. They've been patient offensively. They've gotten those good looks from the corner especially, but they just haven't dropped so far. But like you said, eventually they will, because this is what this team does best. But Lake Orion will take possession to open up this second half, thrown in by Marshall into Lauer. Lake Orion down by 1 to start the second half. Lauer, nice screen there, and thrown back into the post. Wide open, great play. Looked like John Stockton and Carl Malone there. Perfect job there by Lake Orion opening up this second half. Kendall Robertson with the 2. Lake Orion with the turnover. Back up to Lauer. Lauer had Ebert wide open there, but honestly, you'd like if she would have just taken that to the basket, but nevertheless, they will keep possession here, up by 1.
Yeah, I like the idea because it allows them easy looks at the basket.
Marshall into the corner, over to Lauer. Lauer back down low, deep in the post, turnaround, shot beautiful. Kendall Robertson, first 2 baskets in the second half for Lake Orion. They have a 3-point lead right now. Ebert playing the point, putting some nice pressure there. All by herself is Erla. Erla, spin. Back over to Norman. Norman with a wide open shot, not able to hit it, but that was drawn up perfectly. Just couldn't take advantage of it. Back up by Lauer. Lauer over to the corner. 3-pointers up and too short again. That was off the hands of Kylie Heck. And Matrish at point, guarded by Ebert. Tossing it over to the wing. Top of the key to Erla. Nice crossover move. She creates herself some space. Jump shot just too strong off the back iron and rebounded by Lauer. Marshall over to Ebert. Ebert in the corner. Baseline drive, turnaround shot, and a little too strong. You gotta like that though from the young freshman. Taking over. Trish with the ball. With the Lightning trying to answer. First 2 baskets going to Lake Orion. Erla, shot, not a lot of room, but she gets the rebound. Rebounded down by Melina Van Dever, but we're gonna get jump ball and keep possession down at this end.
And for the Dragons, I like the idea that if the outside shots aren't falling, why not try inside? And it's worked as they've gotten easy looks inside for layups.
Drive in by Erla, too strong. Picked up by Lake Orion. Yeah, they've done a good job on the pick and roll. Couple possessions here. Robertson using her size there in the post, done a great job. Three-pointer up, and still no shot made by Lake Orion. Marshall deep down low in the post. Fake and shot up, but a little too strong off the glass. Erla drives the ball in. A lot of defensive help on Erla, and she really hasn't had a lot of room to create that space and to get that open shot, and so far every shot she's put up has been contested.
Which I think is a good thing for the Dragons, because if you give her that space, then she'll just torch you for points. And they've done a good job, not just this quarter, but I believe the entire game so far.
She's got the talent to take over, for sure. Trish with the ball over in the corner. Back up to the top of the key, trying to feed Erla again, but Lake Orion, Marshall bringing that ball up. Marshall, not a lot of room, but somehow she gets that ball in off the glass, using it perfectly. And Lake Orion, like that 19-14 lead, 5-point lead. We get a timeout by Lapeer. And just like that, Adam, that's the way you start a second half. The three-pointer wasn't dropping. They went down low to the post a few times to Robertson. Created some opportunities off steals, and Lake Orion has a 5-point lead.
Yeah, and that's just playing to not limiting the turnovers on offense and getting those easy looks inside, which will allow them to get back in this game in the lead.
Yeah. You know, and like we've mentioned, defensively, Lake Orion, that's where they thrive, when they can get those steals, take advantage of those opportunities. In this second half so far, they're doing a good job. Now, kind of a mix of good and bad in that first half for both sides, but Lake Orion is looking hungry, looking for another win.
Yeah, and I've also liked how they've not shut down, but almost like contained Erla.
Yeah, I mean, they've done a good job with that, and especially with Norman as well, because Erla and Norman, they were using that give and go, that pick and roll type of play in that first half, and just haven't had any room. Lapeer ball out of bounds here. Down by 5. Full court press. Good job by Lake Orion. Ebert providing some pressure on Trish. It's hard to shake her. I tell you, she plays some good defense. Good job by Trish there. Trish with an open pass down low, blocked by Robertson. Filthy defense down low. She saw that coming all the way.
Yeah, what a second half she's had so far.
Couple baskets, a block shot there, a couple rebounds. Good job from the Lightning there to get an open shot, but picked up by Marshall, and they'll slow it down to Ebert. Ebert over to Casey Lauer. Lauer back down to Robertson. Why not? Robertson using the glass, gets her own rebound, and she somehow gets it back. She's had a heck of a second half here. Lauer again, using her size, and good.
What a shot.
Wow.
Terrific.
She's looking like Shaquille O'Neal on the post down there.
I know.
Wow. Heck of a play. Or do we say Lisa Leslie? How about that?
Yeah.
A better comparison, right?
Of course.
Three-pointer up by Erla. It's good, and just like that, she can bring them back. Down by 4, are they?
She has that outside shot.
She does. She does. She can do that, and she can pick you up off the dribble. Lake Orion, a little bit of confusion there. Brought back up by Melissa Norman. And we're gonna have a foul here. So just like that, the intensity's definitely picked up in this second half, huh?
Yeah, a lot different from the first half. We got that nice sequence with the basket by Robertson, then Erla applies with that 3.
Yeah, Erla's definitely had a tough night. Not something she's used to, but she can get out of that funk in a hurry, hits that open 3. Brings the Lightning up a little bit closer. Inbound pass to Marshall. Marshall top of the key. Marshall drives it to using her left hand. Crossover. Trying to create some space, but right in her face right there is the defense for the Lightning. Down low, they're trying to feed Robertson again, but good job getting in front of that pass, and Erla picks the ball back up. Erla, crossover pass. And they're going to call a push. Looked like it may have been a kickball off the foot of Ebert. I don't know about the push. She almost came away with another steal, but as you know, I'm not wearing a striped shirt.
Yeah, hard to tell now. It was kind of a bang-bang play there.
Inbound pass over to Erla. Erla down low trying to feed Norman. Not able to do so. That jump ball, tie up by Lake Orion, and they will retain possession. That energy level just looks a little bit different in the second half for Lake Orion. Marshall over to Ebert. Ebert back up to Norman. Norman tied up. And we're going to have a 1-and-1. So the difference between a 1-and-1 and a tie-up like that is, well, very similar, right?
Yeah.
But instead, we're going to get a call on the floor. Norman in the corner, trying to get that to Robertson. Good job, Marshall picking it back up. Marshall looking for somewhere to go. Top of the key, over to Ebert. Ebert into the hands of Robertson. Robertson picks up her dribble. Good pass. Down low to Norman, and it's good.
And there's Robertson again.
How in the world did she make that shot? A couple Lightning players there fall on the floor, but she had no room. I don't know how she got it up. Nevertheless, she did. Lake Orion up by 6. It's all good.
Yeah, and Robertson seems to be the spark plug for Lake Orion, because not only on that one, she made a play not for herself but her teammate.
Yeah, that's a good point there. She's creating possessions for her team, creating opportunities. Here come the Lightning, dribbling out of that pressure, trying to feed the ball down to Norman, but stolen away by Marshall. Marshall over to Ebert. Ebert bringing that ball up, looking for somewhere to go. She's dangerous. She can turn it on at any time as well. Ebert crosses it over. Ebert, ball to the basket and blocked away by Norman. Here comes Trish. Trish stolen away by Marshall. Marshall, good job to get back, but we're going to get a tie-up as Trish hustles back as well. Possession is going to stay on this end for the Lightning, so good job by Trish to recover defensively there.
Yeah, and for Lapeer, they need to get something going, because these last few possessions have seemed to be almost momentum for Lake Orion.
Maddox coming back in for Marshall here. Corner 3 by Trish, too far. Picked up by Norman. Into the hands of Ebert. Ebert with some pressure applied to her, double team. Ebert dribbles out of it, got some room, and another block by Norman. I gotta tell you, that defense has been ferocious down in the post for both sides so far. We got 3 blocks in this third quarter.
Yeah, like, as you mentioned before, the intensity has just switched.
It's a different ball game. It's a different ball game in the second half. 1:40 left in this third quarter. Lake Orion up by 6. Ball inbounded to Erla from Lapeer. She can create her own offense. Erla taking that ball in. Somehow not a travel there. Shot for 3 and bounces out. The younger sister of the Erlas there puts that ball up. And we're going to get a foul by Cindy Maddox, team's 3rd in this second half.
Yeah, that last play seemed to be like a travel there, but.
Inbound pass by Lapeer, looking for somewhere to go. Corner 3, but doesn't release it. Back into the hands of Erla. Erla gets a screen by Norman. They're going to call offensive foul. Well, that's the thing. When you set a screen like that, you can't be moving. You have to stop, set that screen, and they said she was moving, and because of that, that's an offensive foul. Ebert brings the ball back up for Lake Orion, trying to build upon that lead. Over to Norman, back into Robertson, who's been a force in the post, and here she goes again.
She is just tearing it
Just
up in
keep
the third
feeding
quarter.
her.
Yeah.
25-17, 8-point lead for Lake Orion, and just like that, we got a completely different ball game. We talked, Adam, about some keys to this game, but you know what? What we didn't do is we didn't talk about Kendall Robertson, the junior and center for Lake Orion. I tell you what, right now she's got player of the game.
Oh, of course. The third half has been hers.
Yeah, she's definitely taken over in this second half in the third quarter, as you were mentioning there. She's just been poised to score. As soon as she gets that ball, she's confident, she's making one move and just putting that ball in the net.
Yeah, and the Lady Dragons, they needed this because both teams coming out into the third quarter seemed sluggish. The game seemed slow, but Kendall Robinson, with her performance on offense and defense, has now almost changed the tempo and the ferocity that what the Lady Dragons are playing with.
Well, that's true, right? We mentioned that block. I mean, she's been a force down low. You have to think about her when you go down low and try to make a basket. And that's for Erla. She's driven a few times Hannah, and she's met Robertson, and Robertson has really stood her ground. So good job by Lake Orion on both sides with an 8-point lead, 50 seconds left in this third quarter. Lightning bringing the ball back up. Don't want to fall back too far going into the fourth quarter. Erla in the corner. Gets a screen by Norman. Looking for somewhere to go. Picks up another screen. Three-pointer. Doesn't put it up. And they're going to call a push there. And I think that's a good call. That was on Melissa Norman for Lake Orion. That's her second. But good call, but good job defensively standing your ground. There's been nothing easy. And can definitely agree on that.
Yeah, and that's a good thing, I think, for the Lady Dragons, because she can make any shot on the floor Erla can.
Trish with the ball. Looking for somewhere to go. Double team there by Lake Orion off the hands of Charity Dundas. Cindy Maddox going to pick up her second foul. Team's fifth in the second half. And we're going to have a baseline inbound pass. Norman thought about the three there into the hands of the point guard, Erla. As I mentioned, younger of the two sisters. Trish back to Norman. Over to Norman, back to Trish. 5 seconds left. Trish, three-pointer is blocked, but Robertson, who tried to retrieve that ball, had her foot on the line with 2.2 seconds. So enough time here to catch it. Couple dribbles and a shot. If you're Lake Orion, got to stay in position defensively. Don't want to give up anything too easy. Back up to Norman from three and off the iron. She had a good look there, so end of three. Lake Orion up 25-17. Adam, we've talked about this on a couple of timeouts. What a heck of a change in the second half for Lake Orion.
Yeah, and that all starts with Kendall Robertson, because she came in and she made a couple great layups, had a pass to Norman, which allowed a layup. And on the defensive side, she's been a force with some blocks and just overall great defensive play.
Yeah, and in doing that as well, as we mentioned, that defense, you know, Hannah Erla hasn't had a lot of room in the second half. Olivia Norman, who had a great first half, hasn't done much. Emma Trish has been contained for the most part by Ebert, and Lake Orion is doing everything they want to. They're taking advantage of opportunities, getting steals, playing some good in-your-face type of defense, and on offense, it's just a lot more fluid.
Yeah, which it speaks volumes to how not Lake Orion, but both teams were playing in the first half. They all seem slower and sluggish.
You got to give credit as well to head coach for Lake Orion, Bob Bridges, who's just got a different game plan here. Feed the post. Feed the post. I mean, it's been low post, it's been elbow, high post. It doesn't matter. It's been going to Kendall Robertson. So we're going to start this fourth quarter with Lake Orion with a commanding 8-point lead, the highest lead for any team in this ball game so far, and it's at the perfect time with 8 minutes left. We're going to get a sideline inbounds from Marshall into Lauer. Lake Orion opening up this fourth quarter, looking to lead looking to take another victory away from Lapeer. Down in the post. Not a lot of room though, just swarming is the defense for Lapeer. Olivia Poplowski had no room there, and Lake Orion takes the timeout, which is smart. You don't have anywhere to go. You don't want to throw out any possessions, and they obviously didn't have anywhere to go. So Lake Orion, what do? Bridges calls the timeout. Now we were talking before the start of this fourth quarter, Adam, obviously Kendall Robertson, but I think the way that Madeline Ebert, the freshman point guard, has come in here and played well on both sides, and she's played a very calming point guard as well for this team. As a freshman, that's not an easy thing to do.
Especially also coming off the bench. She's been a rock when she's been out there. She's taken on tough assignments as a freshman. She's locked up, or not locked up, but almost slowed down some of Lapeer's best players.
Well, she's locked up defensively, right?
Yes.
We can agree on that. Ball in by Lake Orion. Marshall over to Lauer. Deep down low, trying to feed Robertson, but that ball stolen away. Erla brings that ball back up. She's going to look to score, as she does often. Erla, wide open shot, nobody behind her was Jordan Olko. But Lake Orion will take the rebound. Marshall over to Lauer. Back into the hands of Marshall. Marshall drives. Lauer all by herself, doesn't put that up. Back over to Robertson. Robertson in the high post. Back over to Marshall in the corner. Robertson calling for the ball. Turnaround shot, just misses it, but a heck of a shot there. She almost hit a fadeaway. Rebounded by Lapeer. Lapeer tosses it up, trying to push the tempo. Wide open three, and shooter's bounce. Heck of a shot by Charity Dundas, cuts it to 5 points. Lake Orion's gonna get some pressure here on them. Got to break that press. Lauer dribbles it up over to Marshall. Marshall brings it up over half court. Good job by Lake Orion. Over to Lauer, wide open underneath the basket. If you're Grace Valkalich, you're all by yourself. Why don't you pick up your dribble and shoot that?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think she was surprised by how open she was there. She just turned around and nobody behind her.
Yeah, but you got to take that shot, because open shots like that aren't going to come all often that game.
That's a good point. You got to take advantage of when you have easy opportunities like that. And that was like stealing candy from a baby. Unfortunately, not able to capitalize. But then you get a gift like that off the toe of Charity Dundas. Turnover, and not the time you want to do it either with 6 minutes left in this ball game. Inbounds to Lauer. Lauer running the point. Over the left side, Lauer back to Robertson. Robertson has been strong in this half, and they're going to call a travel on Marshall. Brought back in. Lots of speed there. Rebounded by Norman. Back to Erla. Erla drives and fouled. That would have been huge there if she would have hit that shot, but you got to be careful if you're Lake Orion. They've kind of been a little bit lackadaisical the last couple possessions on defense. Yeah. And just like that, if you hit 2 free throws, Lapeer's only down by 3.
Yeah, and for Lake Orion too, they have to watch the fouls, because they've slowly been accumulating these, and you can't let Lapeer get easy foul shots when they've been playing such good defense the entire game.
First free throw up for Erla is good. She'll get one more. Second free throw up for Erla. Couple dribbles. It's good. And just like we mentioned, an 8-point lead is now down to 3, just like that. And they're going to get pressed here, full court. Inbounded by Marshall, over to Lauer, over back to Marshall. Lauer, good job picking that dribble up. She's got some room, but she traveled.
Yeah, and for Lake Orion, you can't.
She was trying to feed Robertson. But I think what you were trying to say there, Adam, is for Lake Orion, you can't just give this away.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, they've done wonderful in the second half, but this fourth quarter has been completely different.
Yeah, turnovers right now it's not what you need.
Erla brings that ball back up, down by 3. Crossover dribble into the lane. She's fouled. I tell you what, you just can't stick with her.
And now would be a good time for Erla to get hot, because this lead has slowly been getting cut down. And Lapeer has a chance now. There's only 3 points with 5:30 left.
It almost feels like a shark that smells blood. You know, that tastes blood. It's in the water there, because they're just acting like a team that's ready to come back. Now, that was a 1-and-1 right there. Off the iron, Lake Orion picked it back up over to Marshall. Marshall, wide open 3. She, just missed it off the iron. Rebound by Lake Orion. Shot was up by Melissa Norman, but just a little too strong. 5:11 left. Down by 3 is Lapeer. Into their leader's hands, Erla. Erla looking to pick up a screen. She does by Norman. Takes it to the left side. Shot up. Trying to bank that in, but just too short. Rebound by Lake Orion. Marshall. Down to Humes, over to Robertson. Robertson all by herself, but first layup she's missed all night, but that was a big one. Nobody home. Ball almost thrown away. Good job. Heck of a job by Lake Orion to get back by Lauer. They had numbers, did Lapeer, but Lauer getting back on defense, knocking that ball out with 4:31 left. Tight ball game, but that's what you ask for every time out, right?
Yes.
Erla gets the inbound pass, gets a screen by Norman. Erla, jump shot up and just misses it. That was a beautiful shot, too. Here comes Lake Orion. Volkalic stops. Over to Lauer. Lauer back down to Volkalic. She had the shot, but she didn't take it.
Yeah, once again, an open look.
That was a couple shots from her that she didn't take. If she just sets her feet, puts that up, she's got a wide open 3. Erla guarded by Volkalic. Over to Norman. Over in the corner. And we're going to get a foul here. Megan Marshall's first, but that's a team's 8th, so we're shooting free throws now, which could be big with 3:51 left, down by 3. Yep. And to the line is Hope Fisher.
These are big free throws for Lapeer. This could cut the lead potentially to 1, which would be huge for Lapeer.
Free throw up for Hope Fisher. It's good. Well, she had a 1-on-1. She earned that second free throw. Just like that, Adam, just down by 2.
Yeah, Lapeer has slowly come back and fought back from the 8-point deficit they were just earlier in the third quarter.
Second shot by Hope Fisher to cut this lead to 1. Shot is up, and it's nothing but net. Heck of a stroke there. We got a 1-point lead with 3:51 left. Lake Orion going to get some pressure on them. Madeline Ebert into the game. Ebert dribbles down the right side. Lots of room. Ebert looking for an open girl there on the court, but nobody home, and we got to push. Good job by Ebert to break that press. Just the 4th team foul for Lapeer in this half. Ebert sideline pass into Volkalic. Volkalic using the left hand. Top of the key. Nice fake and shot. And just a little too strong from Kylie Heck. Excuse me, Aaron Humes in there to the game. We're going to get a timeout from Lake Orion. A full timeout up by 1 is the Lake Orion Dragons. Adam, we've seen a heck of a ball game. It's kind of slowed down a bit in this fourth quarter. If you're Lake Orion, you got a 1-point lead, 3:27 left. What do you have to do to come out with this victory?
I think you got to go back to what worked earlier in the second half, which was getting the ball down low in the post and trying to convert layups with your bigger girls like Kendall Robinson and Megan Marshall, because all night the three has not fallen for them, which I don't know how much of a factor that is right now with them only being up 1 point.
Well, you know, you have to think you're going to have to break that press too, because that's something that Lapeer has been able to do. Now, they haven't been able to be too successful, but if you're Lake Orion, you got to keep the ball in the hands of a couple girls, Casey Lauer and obviously Madeline Ebert. That's your best ball handlers, but we'll see if Lake Orion can come out, and really this could be a big victory for them to turn this season around. So as we mentioned, 3:27 left in this fourth quarter in this ball game. Lake Orion with a 1-point lead. Going to be dragging ball out of bounds. Ebert inbounding that ball. Over to Valkalich. Using a screen. Over to the right, splits the defense. Good job there, but turn back around. Good steal by Trish. Turn back over to Valkalich. Valkalich into Humes. Humes stops at the free throw line. Three-pointer up. And just off the iron, but good rebound again. Over to Humes. Humes drives. Corner three, it's up, and it's good! Great job by Lake Orion. Kylie Heck with the three-pointer. Lake Orion up by 4. Ball almost off the foot of Erla. Erla, she drives with a force. Ball up and misses. Back over Trish with the shot from the elbow. No good. Norman rebound. And we'll get a tie up here. Jump ball. I got to tell you what, the intensity's picking up in this fourth quarter in the last couple of seconds here. Back and forth for both teams. Lake Orion finally, as we mentioned, Adam, finally connecting on that open three.
Yeah, and that was a big one. That extended the lead to 4, and that was the right time to get that going.
So possession going to stay with Lapeer here. Inbound pass, top of the key. Back over to Erla. Norman provides the screen. Back over to Norman. In the corner down low. Three wide open, but nothing there. That three off the hands of Trish and picked up by Madeline Ebert. So 4-point lead with 2:20 left here. Lake Orion can close it out. Good job by Ebert crossing over her defender. Splitting the double team. Back over to Robertson. Robertson. And you like this by Lake Orion. Drain some of that clock. Drain some of that clock. Come away with this victory. Over to the corner, baseline drive. Madeline Ebert picks it back up. Draining that clock, and Ebert is fouled. So that's exactly what you want to do for Lake Orion. Keep passing that ball around, draining the clock, 1:49 left, 4-point lead. And now they're not in the penalty yet, just the 15th foul. So Lake Orion will inbound that again, and you're probably going to see an intentional foul again.
Yeah, but as you alluded to earlier, it's good that they need to get the clock down because Lapeer has some good players that can score the ball very quickly for them.
Sideline pass in, 1:49 here, into Ebert. Ebert is fouled again. That'll be the 6th team foul. So they're still not in the penalty. Valkalich inbounding. Trying to get that into Marshall, but stolen away. We'll stay with the Dragons here with 1:47 left. You're going to see another intentional foul.
And that last one was kind of a dangerous pass. I think the Dragons are lucky that that one didn't get stolen potentially.
Well, they want to get it into Ebert. They haven't been able to. Robertson down low in the post. Robertson driving in like a force. She's knocked down. And she's going to shoot some free throws here. So that's the thing. It's tough to stop her. It's tough to stop her when she gets down low in the post. And Kendall Robertson with a 1-and-1 opportunity here from the free throw stripe. First free throw up, no good. Rebounded by Lapeer. Over to Erla. She's gonna shoot this, you watch. Erla back over to Norman, though. Norman gets a wide open shot, no go. Off the backboard there, and they got a foul. Volkalich fouled, so 1:29 left, 4-point lead for Lake Orion.
Yeah, they're going back to the stripe, but they need to convert on these late free throws, or else they're just going to give Lapeer more opportunities to potentially get back in this game.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, you don't want to give any opportunities for Lapeer to get back in this ball game. They've got a couple of players that can score in a hurry. For Lake Orion, got to hit those free throws. Now that's what it's going to come down here, Adam. Free throws. You have to connect. You want to keep the ball into your best free throw shooter's hands. Obviously, is ideal. You think of Madeline Ebert. She's probably one of their better free throw shooters. But you got to take advantage, because if you don't, you're going to fall behind. So 4-point lead, but it can be taken away in just like that. That's just a couple possessions. What a heck of a job for Lake Orion tonight. We talked about early on in the ball game, you got to connect on those open shots. Now, they didn't until late when it really mattered, which was big. We've already talked about tonight. Can we just say it right now? The player of the game's got to be Kendall Robertson.
Oh, yeah, definitely, because she came in the third quarter and turned the game around, turned the intensity around for the Lady Dragons, for her play both on offense and on defense.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, she's done a great job. And in this fourth quarter, it's been a different story. They haven't gone so much down deep in the post, but there's been a couple shots from three for Lake Orion connected. First shot for Volkalich, and just like that, we mentioned, got to connect on those free throws. Erla knocked down. Oh, you hope she didn't hurt her knee there.
Oh, yeah, she looks to be in a little pain.
Oh, boy. Yeah, you don't want that. She's already wearing that brace, as we see. She's the heart and soul of that team. She's down right now, and she's had a heck of a ball game. As we mentioned, she's somebody that can score in a hurry from three, off the dribble. She doesn't want to be out of this game. She doesn't want to leave this game. Wow.
Yeah, and she seems to be walking off on her own power, which is good. Like to see that.
She's a gamer. She didn't even want to come out.
The beer ball.
Inbound to Lapeer, just 1:15 left. 5-point lead for Lake Orion. Lapeer's got to score in a hurry with their best player on the bench. Pass down low, but there was a foul. Good pass by Trish.
And that's going to give Lapeer free throws, which these could be big for Lapeer, and they can cut the lead to 2. One basket game with a minute left. This could go either way if Lapeer can make these free throws.
Fisher at the line off the foul from Marshall. First free throw up and bounces out, but, oh wow. I said that was off of Lapeer, and we'll change possession. Four-point ball game, but just almost turned away. Ebert, nowhere to go. You got to get some help there. And we're going to get a timeout, so good job by Lake Orion calling that full timeout, really bailing them out, because Madeline Ebert had nowhere to go with that basketball. But, you know, we're kind of stunned here as we see Hannah Erla, who had to limp off the floor. And with that, you just wonder if the hopes of Lapeer went away as well.
Yeah, that seemed to be crushing for them, because you hate to see one of your best players leave in that circumstance this late in the game with the score being this close.
And really, she is their best player.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you can argue that, I guess, but she just can do so much with the basketball. She's played good defensively. She's got a good three-point shot. She can take you off the dribble. She can hit free throws. She kind of is that glue of the team, and without her, they're going to have to come up big. And, you know, a name that comes to mind is somebody in the post that was big in that first quarter is Olivia Norman. Maybe you feed the post there.
Yeah, but also I think those free throws that they just had that they missed, I think was big, because that could have cut the lead and made this.
Well, free throws is always big, right? Especially with 1 minute left in a ball game. You got to connect. Those are clutch. Lake Orion going to retain possession here deep in their end. Inbound pass. Lake Orion gets over Robertson all by herself. Oh, she missed a wide open layup.
Yeah, that was a big miss there by Robertson. That could have potentially put the game away.
And we're going to get a foul there by Kendall Robertson. At the free throw line is Hope Fisher, so looked like it was a little bit of aggravation there from Robertson as she pushed down Fisher. Just can't do that. Down by 4 points. You don't want to give up these easy points. Fisher from the free throw line. First shot up. No good. Got to connect.
Yeah, those are easy points that could have cut the lead to almost 2, but now they're going to have to settle, hopefully, if they can make this one to 3.
Second free throw by Fisher. Couple dribbles, spin that ball. Goes up with it and bounces out. But rebound by Norman. Picks up a rebound again, another rebound. She falls, throws it back over to Fisher, who's fouled. Wow.
What a hustle play. She passed that out while she was falling to the ground.
I mean, that's exactly what it was. Hustle, 100% hustle. 44 seconds left, puts Fisher back at the free throw stripe, where she went 0 for 2. Got to take advantage of these opportunities with the clock stopped. Fisher, first free throw is up. It's good.
And as you mentioned before, the best player that's not currently on the bench for Lapeer is Norman, and she came up big there with that hustle play to get that ball in the free throws.
Fisher, second free throw, up. And it's good.
Shooter's touch there.
2-point ball game. Here comes the pressure. Marshall dribbling it up. Gets it over half court. Marshall looking for somewhere to go. Over to Humes. In the corner. Back over to Marshall. Corner shot is open, but they're just trying to drain some of that clock. Foul by Norman. 26.9 seconds. 2-point lead by Lake Orion. It's going to come down to the very end here. And Adam, this has been a heck of a ball game.
Yes, it has. And props to Lapeer for fighting back from down 8 points, starting this fourth quarter now, to cutting the lead down to 2.
And just like that, Adam, with a little bit of a limp, number 21, Hannah Erla is back in the game for Lapeer.
That's huge.
That's showing a lot of heart. Free throw off the iron. 2-point lead. Here comes Lapeer. Lapeer over to the corner, over to Erla. Erla looking to drive that ball, throws it up and just misses it. Now she's definitely in some pain, some discomfort. Foul by Fisher there.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a couple free throws coming up for Lake Orion.
Yeah, it could have been a very clutch shot there by Erla to come off the bench when she's hurt, maybe yet. I don't know how healthy she is, but that would have been a big shot to give Lapeer the tie.
You got a good free throw shooter at the line. Ebert. First shot for the freshman. Bounces out. Missed free throws. 12.2, 2-point lead for Lake Orion. So this is going to be a one-possession game no matter what here. Big free throw coming up. Ebert spins it. Shot up. Bounces off the iron. Trish with the rebound. Trish dribbling it up. Nowhere to go. And we're going to get a timeout with 7.2 seconds left in this ball game. We're either looking at overtime here, Adam, or Lake Orion victory. This has been exciting.
Yeah, this has been, what a comeback from Lapeer, coming from, again, down 8 without Erla, their best player for the majority of this end part of the fourth quarter. And if I'm Lapeer, I think I go to Norman in the post, because she has been not a force, but she has been a constant presence throughout this game.
Yeah, this has been a lot of fun. Definitely for us up here and the fans out there, everybody watching. Our high school game of the week, and it's lived up to it on ONTV. We're definitely happy to cover this ball game. It could be big. Now, if you're Lapeer, you're 3-7. You're trying to climb back in it. If you're Lake Orion, you're 2-6, trying to climb back in it. So for either team, this is going to be a crushing blow if you don't come away with this victory.
Especially with how hard each team has fought throughout this game. This has been a very, very defensively minded game, you know, for each team. Each team has played, I feel, really good defense.
Lake Orion, 7.2 seconds away from a victory. Or are we looking at overtime? Or do we get a three-pointer? It can go either way. Inbound pass here by Fisher. You know they're going to try to get that ball to Erla. You got to keep it out of her hands.
Yeah.
She's going to try to get open. Corner stolen away, 5.2 seconds. They get that ball a little bit closer. Erla getting deep in the post. She just doesn't have the speed to break away. Erla down in the post. They feed it to her. She's ball stolen away by Robertson, and that's the game.
Oh my.
No call.
What a wild ending that was.
I got to tell you, that's surprising.
Yeah,
no call there.
Surprising.
And a Lake Orion victory, Adam. A heck of a win for the Dragons. This is a big victory. They needed this one to climb back in. Adam, our high school game of the week, we mentioned a couple times, it lived up to it every way. What'd you see that you like from this team to build on for this season?
Well, for the Lake Orion Lady Dragons, they changed their game plan when originally it wasn't working, because in the first half, they seemed to be getting those, trying the outside shots, and they didn't go. In the third quarter, they fed the ball to Kendall Robertson, who made big layups and also had a great defensive presence with a couple blocks. I think that she led them to the win.
Lake Orion comes away with a victory that puts them at 3-6 on the season, 3-8 for the Lapeer Lightning. David Siseski with my partner Adam Schrader, the ONTV broadcast high school game of the week. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great night.